Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress with a video on the Trickster getting tricked. It's also the fourth video in the Knights Rules series, as we see a few very nice knight moves in this game. The game I'm going to show you is from 1973, played on the 18th of April between Grandmaster Ljubomir Ljubojevic from Yugoslavia, nowadays he would be from Serbia, and Leonid Stein from the Soviet Union, and nowadays he would be from Ukraine. It was a 13th round in the Las Palmas tournament on the Canary Islands in Spain, and Ljubojevic had a rating of 2550 at the time this game was played, and Stein had 2620. And Ljubojevic played a very unusual first move in Grandmaster practice. He played b2, b3, e5 from Stein, bishop b2, d6, e3, knight f6. Let's go through the opening moves quite quickly. There's not so much happening. c4, g6, d4, the bishop gets fianchettoed, the knight gets developed, a pair of pawns is swapped, the queen takes back, Stein castled, knight f3, knight bd7 and bishop e2. And the engine already prefers black's position. It doesn't really like white's setup. Knight c5. And here the engine likes to move b4. Kicking the knight back to e6, attacking the queen, and then queen d3. And this is more or less equal. But Ljubojevic brings a trick in the position. He plays rook d1. And why is it a trick? Well, he's tempting black to play knight f2 e4, but that is a bad move. Yes, it is attacking the queen, but the queen just takes on g7. And after king takes, there is knight takes e4, and that is check. Now the bishop gives check to the king. f6, and then knight takes c5, and that was the point of rook d1, because now the d pawn is pinned and cannot take the knight. White has won 3 minor pieces for the queen and has a good position. So that was the purpose of rook d1, trying to tempt black to play knight f2 e4. But the trickster gets tricked, because Stein did not go for knight e4, he played knight g4. And that's a very strong move. It is attacking the queen again, and the engine wants to put the queen on f4, that is the best square, but that's a very awkward spot for the white queen to be in. Ljubojevic played a more human move, retreated the queen to d2, but now look at this shot. Knight takes f2, exclamation mark. What a beautiful move. The knight rules in this game. And why is this so strong? Well, let's take that piece. What happens then? Well, then there is bishop takes c3. And if you take that piece with the bishop, then there is knight e4 check. And we have a double attack, a fork on king and queen, and black wins. The same happens if you take back with the queen. Queen takes e3, there's also knight e4 check with that same fork, the royal fork on king and queen. So after bishop takes c3, you cannot take that piece. You can play queen c1, but then there is bishop takes b2, queen takes b2, and knight e4 check, leaving black a very healthy pawn up. And black has a fantastic position. So all that after knight takes f2, that beautiful shot, and then taking the knight. But Ljubojevic saw this and did not take the knight and castled here. Is that legal? Can you castle in this position? Yes, you can. The rook in the corner is attacked, but it is still, according to the rules, to castle here. And I believe it was Anatoly Karpov, when he was world champion, who once had a similar position where he wanted to castle, but he first went to the arbiter to ask if that move was legal. That was quite an event, the world champion checking the rules of chess with the arbiter. But castling doesn't really help white a lot, because now black took on d1, took an exchange, bishop takes. Black has an extra exchange and an extra pawn and is winning. Let's see what happened. Bishop g4. That bishop was kicked. Stein took on f3. Bishop takes. Played a5. Let's just go through the remaining moves of this game. Not much happened. White really did not get a chance to get back into this game. He played knight d5, c6. The bishops were swapped. White gave a check. f6. Knight back to f4. That knight was attacked there on d5. Queen e7. The king stepped aside. Rook fe8. Eyeing up this e3 pawn. Ljubojevich played the queen back to d2. The pawn on e3 was taken, but then white can take on d6. Queen back to e5. White does not want to swap the queens. Rook a d8, attacking the queen. The queen can take on a5. A dying man can eat everything. Knight e4. And that's attacking the unprotected queen on a5. And here knight e6 check was played by Ljubojevich. A little trick. If you take with the rook. That was probably what Ljubojevich was hoping for. Then this rook is hanging on d8. But if you look a bit further, then you can see that black has a winning attack starting with knight g3 check. The white king will get checkmated soon. But after knight e6 check, black did not take with the rook. He took with the queen, just picks up another piece. And here Ljubojevich resigned the game. A rather tough defeat with white in 25 moves. The trickster got tricked in this game, and we saw some beautiful knight moves. For this series, the knight rules. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to the Chess to Impress channel and please leave a comment. If you like the video, if you like the series of the knight rules, then it would be great if you could share the video on social media by clicking the share button on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, Chess to Impress, Twitter, Chess to Impress, and Facebook, Rick Chess to Impress. Hope to see you for the next video. Thank you for watching.